13. Strange and amazing places in Norway. But first, thanks guys for leaving us these comments. We've done videos on Sweden, on Denmark, on Finland, Iceland, and now finally Norway. Which means after this one, we've completed all Scandinavian countries. Let us know which place you think is the most interesting and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 13. Vigeland Art Installation. Norway is a country located in Northern Europe. It's home to amazing mountains, beautiful fjords, over 50,000 islands, and icy glaciers. The nature can be unmatched in some places, but there's a few strange places as well. The Vigeland Art Installation is located in the capital city of Oslo, in the middle of Frogner Park. This was once a part of a manor owned by a wealthy resident of Oslo, and now boasts some of Europe's strangest artwork. This sculpture here commemorates the victim who lost his life in a vicious battle with a baby. Okay, we don't know exactly what it's for, but it's possible. Other sculptures include this one of a woman with crazy hair and dancing. This one is a giant monolith of human bodies and some kid in a tree. We're sure it makes sense to the Norwegians. Number 12. Atlantic Ocean Road. Norway has an enormous coastline with tons of tiny little islands that pop up between the fjords. The Atlantic Ocean Road makes its best attempt in connecting some of these coastal islands, and a strange piece of architecture was formed. This bridge we see here is one of the more dangerous roads due to Atlantic storms, and also because its strange curvature. Many call it the drunk bridge because when people drive on it for the first time, they feel like they're drunk, which is never a good thing when driving. Number 11. Fjell. This roughly translates to swords and rock, and the name describes them pretty well. Norway is pretty proud of their Viking heritage, and we can see 3 33-foot-tall swords located in southwestern Norway. This commemorates the historic Battle of Husfjord that took place in 1872, which defeated 3 kings and made King Harald the sole ruler of Norway. Although it looks like it was placed by giant Vikings, this was established in 1983 by King Olav V, and is a proud structure in Norway. If you look closely, you'll notice that each of the hilts are slightly different. These amazing photos show the swords overlooking the North Atlantic Ocean. Number 10. Preikestolen Cliff. Norway is certainly home to some amazing nature and wildlife like reindeer. This land was carved by glaciers and it left mesmerizing cliffsides on the Preikestolen Cliff. This impressive piece of nature rises over 1,800 feet from the land below, and many people might feel a sense of unease from the heights, and also the lack of railing along the edge of the cliff. Some believe that in ancient times, this site was used to hold strange pagan rituals and perhaps human or animal sacrifices. The hiking path to get here, however, is a little bit easier than you might imagine, and it's only about a 600-foot uphill walk to get here from the nearest road. From an aerial view, the cliff seems to have a few 90-degree angles, and over 90,000 tourists a year come to check this place out. Number 9. Kjerra Bolten. This thing here is certainly strange and amazing. How did this massive boulder get trapped between 2 huge cliff sides? Hidden away in the opposing mountains of southwest Norway, hikers might come across this boulder that slipped its way into the crevice and probably hasn't moved for the past couple thousand years. Some crazy tourists try to get a photo standing on the boulder. They need to be careful because if they slip, they'll be experiencing a 2,700-foot freefall to the bottom. Some claim that it's actually quite easy to get here, and it's really not as scary as it looks. Would you be willing to get a photo here to put on your Instagram? Number 8. Nigardsbreen Ice Cave. Norway is certainly home to some amazing glaciers due to its northern location by the Atlantic. When parts of the glaciers start to melt, they form fascinating ice caves that can even become tourist attractions. This one here appears to be in retreat, and when researchers came to take a look at it, they uncovered this ice cave. Located in Jostedal Glacier National Park, the entrance is only 15 feet wide, and some have nicknamed it the Ice Cathedral. The striking blue appearance during the daytime makes you wish this entire place won't melt someday. Number 7. Polaria. It looks like someone decided to play dominoes with giant blocks of ice in Norway. What is this? Polaria is actually the northernmost aquarium in the world. And when we say north, we mean further north than Iceland. But that shouldn't discourage you from checking out this strange and amazing place in Norway. The architecture is meant to represent how ice flows onto the shore. The Arctic Aquarium opened in 1998 and gives visitors an understanding of what species of sea creatures roam around the Nordic North. Visitors can also get a look at the bearded seals through a tank wall. The seals are actually quite intelligent, and this gives everyone a chance to see these animals in person. However, most people just come here to see the building itself, which is quite remarkable. Number 6. Torghatten. At first glance, you might not notice anything strange or amazing about this granite mountain on the Norwegian coast, but when you zoom in, you'll notice a strange tunnel that makes a hole all the way to the other side. If you're a good hiker, you can make it into the hole and have yourself a good time here. You might believe at first glance that it's man-made, but if you listen to Norse mythology, you might believe that it was made by a troll who was chasing a beautiful Norwegian girl. A troll god threw his hat, or the mountain, to get into the way of the troll pursuing the beautiful woman. Realizing he wasn't going to catch her, he fired an arrow through the mountain, leaving a giant tunnel. Most geologists, however, believe the less fun version, that it was caused from some ice and water erosion during the Ice Age. But check it out for yourself to be the judge. Number 5. Visnes Statue of Liberty. Take a look at this photo of Lady Liberty standing tall with all her might. She's well known as a symbol of freedom and has welcomed foreign immigrants into America. But hold on a minute, what is she doing in Norway? Turns out Lady Liberty isn't 100% American or French and is actually made of 100% Norwegian copper. A small town of Visnes was home to a large deposit of copper during the construction of the Statue of Liberty, and this town is quite certain that the copper came from them. We asked Lady Liberty if this was true, and she had no comment. Number 4. Norwegian Prisons. Norway is a country which is high on human rights, and they've even banned Walmart from their country due to questions about where they get their products. So it shouldn't come as a huge surprise that Norwegian prisons are some of the best in the world. Some might even have more accommodations than luxury hotels. Here in this photo, taken at Skien Prison, you notice a private bathroom and a shower to the right, and a decent flat-screen TV to the left. It really looks more like a dorm room than a prison cell. There's even been a case when an American was caught smuggling drugs in Norway, and they refused to send him back to the USA since they considered our prisons to be inhumane. Other amenities include PlayStations, private gyms, internet access, and kitchens. Norway still doesn't have a lot of crime with only 5 million residents, and they just don't have a ton of people to lock up. Number 3. Aveva Church. You might be thinking to yourself, hey, what's so strange about an amazing church in Europe? We see those all the time. Well, this isn't just any old church in Europe. This is one of the first churches actually built by the Vikings, and unlike many churches in Europe you're accustomed to seeing like the Notre Dame, this one is made out of wood. It shows extremely detailed wooden carvings on the walls and throughout the doors. This one is situated alongside the picturesque fjord and has been around since the 12th century AD, which is quite a long time for a wooden church. Number 2. Oscarsborg Fortress. Norse history isn't just limited to Vikings, they also played an interesting role in World War II, as we're about to see. This is situated on 2 small islands, and it's well known for shooting down a heavy German cruiser in April of 1940. The Norwegian fjords proved to be excellent places for placing naval ships. However, this fort had outdated weaponry, and Norway became under Nazi occupation the next month. You can still see parts of the torpedoes that were once stored here and 28cm guns that pointed westwards. Don't forget to explore the underground bunker made of reinforced concrete and the old barracks that were built in 1893. At number 1. Pyramidn. The strangest place in Norway has to be the completely abandoned settlement of Pyramidn, located on the Norwegian territory of Svalbard in the north. The Soviet Arctic ghost town was once prosperous due to large coal deposits in the area, but now that the coal is gone, so are the people. However, Norway has been hoping to turn this into somewhat of a tourist attraction, especially since it's not far from the regional capital of Longyearbyen. It's a quick hour ride by snowmobile or a few hours by dog sled. If you do decide to come here, be sure to dress warm and try not to get too spooked out by all the abandoned places here.